So I'm going to post the answers to these. Any questions you don't have it? Do you need one? Yeah, you bet. It is here. If you guys miss a day, always come here. This pile is for you. We'll just pass it there. Okay, so can we look at one of the hardest ones? I think we did alum last time. If you get how we did alum here, then you're okay. So I'm gonna do one more example before we get to the back there. So I'm gonna just put alum Al2, SO4, 3, and I'm going to put 4 in front of that. Again, review from last week. What do we call this now? Which one is the coefficient? Which one is the subscript, right? What is this number here? Subscript. What is this here? Subscript. 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 It's lower. That's why it's called subway. What is this? That's a coefficient. That tells you coefficient is the number of the entire molecule. Okay? So let's do a quick count. You have elements aluminum, sulfur, and oxygen. That's it, right? So let's do a quick count of aluminum. How many aluminum do we have? 8. You see this number 2? It's only attached to aluminum. That's it. So 4 times 2, right, is 8. How many atoms of S? Now, sulfur has 3 times 4. Because the 4 is attached to every single thing. So this is 12. How about oxygen? Oxygen says 4. See, 4 times 3 times 4. Okay, so what's 4 times 3? 12 times 4, 56. So altogether, how many do we have? 76? We have 76 what? Atoms. 76 atoms in 4 molecules of alum.
40. Times 4, 40.
Where? 12 times 4 is 48, not 56. Yeah, we miscounted. Yes, it's 48. So that makes it 68. 68. Okay, we gave oxygen too much credit there. 68 atoms in 4 molecules of alum. Thank you, Anishinafi. Did we do the first one? You guys want to try that? Yeah. Try this and this, okay? And so what I'll do is I'm going to give you a little bit of time doing the back, okay? And I think some of you are finished. Anyone finished? Yeah? Okay. Let's just go over those 2. And what I'll do is I'll just post the answers completely, the complete answers, okay? But tell me what you got here. If you have not done it, I don't want you to do the whole thing now because I'm just going to go over these 2, okay? Can we take a look at the first one? So this is called, do you have we're going to start naming them now with the polyatomic ion. And I gave you a new periodic table last week. The one that's the yellow one. And it's got that one there. Yeah, so you need on the back of that, you have the polyatomic ions on the back. And I don't have any extras right now, but I think everyone got it last time. If you didn't, I will give you some tomorrow. Is that one? Okay, you see this is the one that has everything, okay? The yellow, beige, what is this? Vanilla colored one. On the back is what we are looking at. So those are the atoms, okay? So the positive and the negative atoms here. The positive are called cations. Cations. Just remember, do you like cats? If you like cats, that's a positive thing, right? Cations are positive. How many of you like onions? Does onion make you cry? You know why? Because onions are negative. They're anions. Onions. Rhyme with onions, right? You know, when you're cutting onions, if you cut it under the faucet with running water, I cut it under running water, it doesn't make me cry. Oh, I just wear my glasses. So anions are negative. Cations are positive, okay? That's how we remember those words, so vocabulary there. Now these, a lot of these are the negative ions. Take a look at the bottom. These are called the polyatomic ions, okay? So if you have more than one element involved, this is called polyatomic. Now my pen is running out. Polyatomic ions. Can you guys read that? Poly means multiple. There, pens are running. Somebody wanna buy me some markers? I'll buy some tomorrow. Okay, so polyatomic ions. That means it contains more than one, two or more. Let's take a look here. You see this? Acetate. It has C, H, and O. Got 3 atoms, 3 different elements. I mean, not atoms, 3 different elements, okay? So it's more than one element. It's called the polyatomic. If it is 2, you call it diatomic, right? These are polyatomic. Okay, so let's take a look at that SO4. Can you find SO4 in your list? SO4. See if you can find that. It starts with an S. So it has sulfur in it, so you know where to look. Right here, SO4, it says negative, right? So that is called sulfate. You could spell it with an F or you could spell it with a PH. F is the American way. They're both correct. So what that is it's called the sulfate. Okay? And what about NH3? Let's take a look. Can you look at the NH3? So that would be ammonia. Now you will get once you get used to the names, right? You'll know that sulfur sulfate has an S. So you look under the ones that has S in it. But this is a tricky one because it doesn't start with nitrogen, right? NH3 is actually, instead of calling it mononitrogen trihydride, it's the same thing actually. You could call it nitrogen trihydride. It's correct. But NH3 is called ammonia. Okay, and so that would be ammonium. So if you take a look at ammonium here, it would be a positive ion. It's a cation, ammonium. So we're gonna combine them now. So ammonium sulfate is the name of that chemical. Ammonium sulfate. Does that make sense? So you just look at the ions that they have. You look it up in your ion chart and you put them together, and that is the name of that chemical. So ammonium sulfate, 2 molecules of ammonium sulfate has 26 atoms. So that's our example here, okay? So I want you to try to do 2 things right now. You're going to name these. See what you can name, okay? Name them. Just write the name in this box here. And then of course the second thing you're going to do is you're going to list the number of each element of each atom, just like the example. But this is the extra thing today, that we're going to name them. So shall we take about 10 minutes to do this? I know, oh yeah, so we have 10 minutes left, or 9. So we'll take the 9 minutes to do what we can, and maybe